Everyone, I'm Doug Pugh with the NFHS Network, and we're back as we continue to recognize the Florida Dairy Farmers Academic All-State Team based on students' academic athletic accomplishments, as well as their extracurricular and community service. And right now, we're joined on the line by a young lady from Bishop Moore High School out of Orlando who excelled in the classroom with a perfect 4.0 GPA, making the President's Honor Roll all 4 years. As a Hornet, she competed for the bowling and lacrosse teams and was named an All-American by the U.S. Lacrosse Association in 2019 and will attend Yale University in the fall with plans to play lacrosse and study global affairs. Without further ado, please welcome Cami Donadio to the call. Cami, thanks so much for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you only applied to Yale and were accepted early. So that bears the question, how long have you wanted to be a Bulldog?
So I knew I wanted to go to an academically rigorous school, and when I kept on visiting Yale, either for lacrosse reasons or just for regular visit reasons, I kept falling more and more in love with it. And so when I had the opportunity in 2018 to verbally commit to the admissions process, I had no other plans in mind and could only really see myself going there.
Now, New Haven is a little bit different from Orlando. I'm sure, you probably have, tried to adjust or mentally adjust already for the winters, but what kind of, uh, you know, anticipation do you have to just relocate to the Northeast?
I'm definitely ready to start seeing some seasons. Florida gets a little monotone in that sense, but my parents are originally from up north, so hopefully I have a little bit of that northern blood in me to get me through.
All right, so global affairs, now that is a major within a major. That might make you part of the 1% within the 1% of the Ivy League schools. That's a pretty rigorous major. Give us a little bit of background on global affairs and maybe any classes at Bishop Moore that might have influenced you to take that route.
So I'm definitely not sure yet if that's what I want to do, but it definitely interests me because of the idea of bridging like international borders to try to work for solutions. I like problem solving, and if I could do that on a global scale, I think that there's could be nothing more fulfilling for me to do as a job. And I'm in AP Euro right now, and I've taken, AP history and whether that's US history or any other type of history. And so I think just learning about history has inspired me to want to problem solve. And like I said, if I could do that on a global scale, there's nothing that could seem more redeeming.
Now, these are great times to be studying history. It's really fascinating to see, as a global perspective. But I want to ask you about your athletic career. You were named an All-American in lacrosse and won a state title at Bishop Moore. Looking back at your career, do you have a favorite memory or memories?
Definitely things like the state championship stand out as just a major memory, but my favorites would probably be just the small moments in between, whether that's dance parties in the locker room, a long truck or a long bus ride, or just any pregame talk. Those would probably be my favorite and the most cherished I have for my 4 years.
Now, you said your parents were from up north, so obviously they knew about the whole lacrosse deal. But down here, it kind of has only started recently, but it is our fastest growing sport in the state. I happen to think it's one of the coolest sports on the entire planet. So, as a Floridian, it's still kind of new, but this is something that's old hat to a lot of kids. What is it about lacrosse that is so appealing, especially down here? Because it's part of the sports that you can play year round, obviously, but what is it about the sport that makes it so dynamic?
I would say lacrosse is just such a fast-paced sport, and you know, there's just no breaks. You're always running. You're always running back and forth. You're playing defense. You're playing attack. You're playing goalie if you're me. Just it's such a fast-paced sport, and it's relatively easy to pick up. Obviously, stick skills and stuff come in time, but anyone who has any bit of athleticism or just wants to work hard can pick up a stick and go out there and practice for themselves, and then go be a good team player when the time comes around.
And so you listed your mom as your biggest inspiration. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, so my mom is an orthopedic surgeon, and when she was starting that and going to school for that, there was not a lot of women in her field, and I always found that really inspiring. Just because when I was younger and she was going through all that, I really had no idea. Just because when you're young, you don't know. But looking back on her career, she really was a trailblazer in that sense. And then, she would always come to my games. She's busy, obviously, being a doctor, but she would always make time for me and come see me play, which she enjoys, but she gets nervous when she watches me play because she doesn't like to see the other team scoring goals. But so she fought cancer twice, beat it twice. Just the woman's a hard worker, and I look up to her so much in every way.
Well, given the path that you've tried to clear out for yourself, I don't think there would be any better example set for you than to have a pioneer, a trailblazer, and a person that can show you all about that perseverance.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so Cami, we cannot thank you enough for your time. We congratulate you again on the honor. We wish you nothing but the best up at Yale, and hopefully that we can see you doing big things on the big stage in the future to come.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, now remember, thanks to the support of the Florida Dairy Farmers Association and the FHSA, you can check out all these videos highlighting the students that have made the academic all-state team at the FHSAA's Twitter page and their Facebook. That's all for now. Thank you so much for joining us.